Hello everyone, this is how I do the homework section 1.2, solving linear system 1, page 24 to 25, 21 to 35 odd question. It was asking us to determine whether the matrices are in the reduced row echelon form. So for the first one, we have leading one, and there's no any number. The other is 0, and the other one, this second row is 1 as well. On the other of the column is 0 as well. And also this is downward to the right diagonal. So this is reduced echelon form. And 23, we have first row 1, leading 1, and the other is 0. And now we have the other one is leading 1 as well. But we have here as not 0. So this is not reduced echelon form. Question 25, we have 1 and the others is 0. And this one is 1, the other is 0. And the last row is all 0, and that satisfied also is downward to the right, is reduced echelon form. 27, we have leading 1, others 0, and the second one is here with 0, but this one, leading 1, it is not at the second row, so this is not a downward to the right because it's coming back, so this is not reduced echelon form. And now we move to question 29. We have 2, 3, and -2, and also 1. So what we try to do now is get a leading one for first row. We can do row 1 times half. And we can, at this moment right now, we can think about next step. We try to remove the 0 on the first column. And now we can like row 1 plus row 2 at row 2 plus row 1, which is replace row 2 like at the same time. So we have 1, and 3 times half is 3 half. And row 1 plus row 2, we have 0 and 4. So, and also now we try to find the leading 1 for the second row. We can have row 2 times 1/4. So we will get 1, 3 over 2, 0, 1. And now we need to knock out this one to be 0. What we can do is, it always count with, we try to knock out, we always count first with row 1. And we need to minus 2, like 3 over 2, which is, we can row 2 times negative. So we minus 3 over 2, row 2. So we have 1 minus 3 half of 0 is just 1. And this one becomes 0. And we have 0, 1, doesn't change. That's our reduced echelon form. And now we move on to question 31. We have a 3 by 3 matrix. So we try to get a leading 1 first, right, for the first row. But what we can see is we find a very close as -1. We can negate, and we put the first row. So we negative row 3 change with row 1. So 1, 1, -2, and this second row doesn't change. 3, -1, 0, and 3, 3, and 1. Now we try to knock out these two, become 0. What we can do is row 2 is starting with row 2 when we knock out using this one as a pivot point, right? And also we can find row 2 minus row 3 will be 0, right? So for row 2, we can just minus row 3. And if we do the other side for row 3, we can row 3 minus 3 of row 1. Also, we might can do row 3 minus row 2. Let's see we can do if we get a same answer or not. So 1, 1, -2, and now 3 minus 3 is 0. -1 minus 3 is -4. 0 minus 1 is -1. And we have row 3 minus row 2, 0, 3 minus -1 is 4, and now 1 minus 0 is 1. Oh, so it's different for second row or third row. Now we try to get the leading for the second row. What we can do now is this times -1/4, row 2 times negative 1/4, what we have is 1, 1, negative 2, 0, 1, and then now it's negative 1 times 1/4 is positive, right? Positive 1/4, and this one doesn't change. And now we can moving forward to knock out of this and this. Okay, we have row 1 need to change, row 3 need to change. Row 1 just minus row 2, and row 3 minus 4 row 2. So we have 1 minus 0 is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0, negative 2 minus 1/4, a quarter, which is 8, is negative 4/9. And 0, 1, 4. And row 3 minus 4 of row 2 is 0, and 4 minus 4 is 0. 1 minus 4 times 1/4 is 1 minus 4 times 0. At this point, I think we cannot do any more. So what we find is what we cannot do under reduced echelon form in the process is this. R2 minus R3, R3 minus R2, because actually they are opposite side, right? So it's kind of like x minus y is equals negative of y minus x. So this is these two forms, it is just they add up together, it will be 0. So that's the mistake we should not do in the future. So let's wipe out those steps using the other way. I will still post this part in the video since we want to make the same mistake. Okay, what we can do right now is we involving to row 2 and row 3 with row 1. So what we now do now is row 2 minus 3 row 1. We're using this one as a pivot point. Always using the pivot point to knock out the others. So row 3 minus 3 row 1. Now we have this is 1, 1, negative 2 doesn't change, and 0, negative 3 minus 3 times 1, which is negative, wait, row 2 is negative 1. Okay, negative 1 minus negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4. And this is 0 minus 3 of times negative 2, which is positive 6. And 3 minus 3 is 0. 3 minus 3 is 0. 1 minus 3 of negative 2, which is 1 plus 6 is 7. Now we try to have this one to be 1. What we can do is row 2 times negative 1/4, right? So we have 1, 1, negative 2, 0, 1, and then 6 times negative 1/4, which is, and it is negative 3 over 2. And 0, 0, 7. Okay, now we using the pivot point now, right? So we're using the first row, find the first leading one, and then as a pivot point, knock out those. We find another leading one. We try to knock out those. So we're using the second row as a pivot point, the leading one. So we need to knock out this, which is row 1 minus row 2. Now we have 1, 0, negative 2 minus row 2 is negative 3 over 2, which is negative 2 plus 2/3, which is negative 2, 4, and plus 3, which is negative half. And now the second one just doesn't change. 0, 1, 3 over 2, and 0, 0, 7. Okay, now we find this one and knock out, and this one and knock out. We have this one to be 1, leading 1. So we have row 3 times 1/7. 1, 0, negative half, 0, 1, negative 3 half, 0, 0, 1. Okay, now we have this, and this one which we should knock out. And what we have is, we can do it same time, knock out row 1 and the row 2. So row 1, how do we get a 0? Is plus half of them, row 3. Row 3. How about row 2? Just plus 2/3 of row 3. What we can get is 1, 0, negative half. Oh, okay, we just knock out this one, because plus negative half plus half is 0, and 0, 1, and 0, and it's 0, 0, 1. So we have identity matrix for 3 by 3 column as answer of question 31. Okay, let's move on to question 33. We have a 2 by 3 matrix. We try to get a reduced echelon form. We can find if row 1 plus row 2 will be -1 for the first column, and then we negate it, that will be just 1. So we replace with the first row. Let's see if it works. So row 1 plus row 2, and we negate it. So we have -4 plus 3 is -1, and then we negate as 1. And 1 plus 4 is 5, negate as -5. 4 plus -3 is 1, we negate as -1. And the second row, we don't change it. Okay, we get a pivot point for leading 1. And we now knock out those. And what we can do is always starting with like row 2, because that's what we try to knock out. Row 2 minus 3, row 1. And then we get, let's get first row. And row 2 minus 3, row 1 is 3, minus 3 is 0. 4 minus 3 times -5, which is 4 plus 15, which is 19. And -3 minus 3 times -1, which is -3, plus 3, which is 0. And at this point, we want to find another leading 1. And what we can find is doing with this one. We can just row 2 times 19 of 1 of 19s. So we get is 1, -5, -1, and 0, 1, and 0. And now we got another pivot point, and we try to knock out. We starting with row 1, right? Row 1 plus 5 of row 2. We have 1, -5 plus 5 of 1 is 0. -1 plus 5 of 0 is -1. And the second 0, 1, 0. Okay, we got a reduced echelon form for question 30. Okay, let's move on to question 35. We have a 3 by 4 matrix. So first step, for the first leading 1. And we can see we have a 1 here. We just need to change row 1 and row 3. Row 1, row 3, they are changed. We have 1, -4, 2, 2. The second row doesn't change. Actually, we can't do it if we send at the same time, but it doesn't matter. Now we have leading 1, and as a pivot point, we knock out those. We can do is row 3 plus 2, row 1. 1, -4, 2, 2, and 0, 3, 3, -3, and row 3 plus 2 of row 1, this is 0, 2 plus 2, -4, we have 2 plus 2 times -4, 2 plus -8 is -6, and we have -1 plus 2 times 2 is 3, and we have 2 plus 2 times 2 is 6, Okay, now we try to find another leading one now. And this sounds good because if I divide by 3, they will all be 1 with the very similar. So row 2, we just times 1/3. We have 1, -4, 2, 2, 0, 1, 1, -1, and 0, -6, 3, 6. Okay. Okay. Now we have another leading one and try to knock out. We can knock out those at the same time. We just have row 1 plus 4 row 2, row 3 plus 6 of row 2. We will get 1, 0, and this is 2 plus 4 of the 6, and 2 plus -4 is -2. And now we have 0, 1, 1, -1, and 0, 0, 3 plus 6 times row 2 is 9, and 6 plus 6 of -1, that'll be 0. Okay, what we have now is we have the first leading one, second leading one, and then we try to find the third leading one. Just this. It can be row 3 times 1 nice. We just got 1, 0, 6, -2, 0, 1, 1, -1, and 0, 0, 1, 0. And now we try to knock out as using this one as a pivot point and knock out those to be 0. We can knock out at the same time, which we have row 1 and row 2, right? Row 1, we try to using this row 3 as a pivot point, minus 6 of row 3. And row 2, just minus row 1, row 2 minus row 3. Row 1 minus 6. So 1, 0, 0, -2 minus 6 of 0 is -2. And row 2 doesn't, oh wait, row 2 you change. 0, 1, 0, -1, and 0, 0, 1, 0. Okay, we have a reduced echelon form. It is downward and also others zeros. Okay, that's it for question 35. Okay, thank you.